Eye in the Sky is directed by Gavin Hood, and it stars Aaron Paul, Helen Mirren, Alan Rickman, the guy from Captain Phillips. I'm the captain now. Many great people in this movie, and spoiler alert, they all gave a fantastic performance. This movie is maybe my favorite movie of the year so far. Sorry, Deadpool, you're still maybe in second or first there, but this movie is fantastic. I was so blown away by this movie. The performances were amazing. The directing was phenomenal. Everything about this movie blew me away. Now, the thing is, I had only seen one trailer for this thing, so I didn't really know much going in, so I didn't know what to expect. All I knew from the trailer is that Aaron Paul plays a drone pilot, and he is struggling whether or not to take a shot on this higher up person on the, the most wanted list of the army or whatever. And that was pretty much it. So going in, I didn't know what was going to happen with this movie. I didn't know like what kind of movie this was going to be. And it starts off and it's a little bit slow in the beginning because you get introduced to many different moving parts. Helen Mirren's over here, she's the leader of the army, and then you got Alan Rickman, who's like her higher up, and he's sitting in the conference room with these guys, and then Aaron Paul's like the pilot, and he's like in Arizona in America, so a completely different place. These people are all, you're being introduced to all these different moving parts, and at first you're like, okay, who am I following? Who's the main character here? What's going on? But then the movie settles in. You get set up to the premise of what it's going for. You see the bad guy that they're going for. Aaron Paul's following her with the drone. Helen Mirren's leading them like, okay, what to do. Alan Rickman's over here. You're still not sure what's going to happen with him. And because it took all the time to set up all the characters in the beginning of the movie, when things start going down and it really starts happening, all the things that, like all the moving parts, they come together, and then you realize, oh my gosh, okay, this is what this movie is. And what it is a suspense-thrilled, edge-of-your-seat nail-biter that drives you insane because you're like, please, just do it, or don't do it, and you're just screaming like a good way because you're so into the story and you get so worked up because this movie draws you in, and it draws you in, and you don't know what's going to happen next. And the thing that ended up happening to me was I felt like it was almost the end of the movie. And I ended up like, my watch like lit up and I was like, oh man, this movie still has like an hour left. So I thought, okay, is this movie going to completely change? Like what's going to happen at the end of this? Like, because I was like, it's almost over with this scene. What's going to happen? And then that scene's not over. It continues to go on, and it gets even more intense. So what I thought was the climax ended up being just the middle of the movie, and then the climax came much later. And this movie just surprised me so much by how much it kept upping the ante and making you more and more interested and just like, oh my god, please, like you're just so into this movie. And I just did not see this movie coming. I did not know about this movie. Like I said, I saw one trailer for it, and I was like, oh, I guess it's coming out this week, and I hadn't heard anything about it. And the best part was just not knowing anything about this. And that's why I don't want to say too much about this movie. It's kind of even hard to explain because the movie literally takes place from when the movie starts and everybody sits down. The movie doesn't like cut from like this time to like, oh, this is a few hours later, or oh, this much time has passed, or a day later, or whatever. It's literally the movie starts and you're with these people, and the time that the movie takes is the time that these people are spending. So it's like from the very beginning to the very end, you just spent a day with these people, and their very long and stressful day of figuring out all the politics and legalities and all these things that go in to just capturing this one person. And it is so mind-blowing. This is like a war film that has never been done before because it would never have been able to have been done before because this is like new technology with the drones and all this that this never would have happened before. We didn't have drones, we didn't have all this technology. So this is like the first kind of war movie like this. And it is so refreshing to see a war movie that's not all about, oh, the soldiers on the ground and all this stuff. It has all the army and like all the different characters that you would think would be in a war movie in it. But it's not all the action and all the things that you would expect. It's all built on suspense and all built on the characters. And by the way, They all give fantastic performances. R.I.P. Alan Rickman, he gives maybe one of the best performances he's ever given. He was so fantastic in this role. The line he says at the end is, it explains the whole movie. Helen Mirren is Helen Mirren. I mean, she's fantastic. And then you got Aaron Paul over here being Aaron Paul. When the movie started out, I was like, oh, that's like a kind of a different role for Aaron Paul. But then when it settles in and then the crap hits the fan, you know why they cast Aaron Paul in this role, because everybody's seen Breaking Bad. And so when you see him, you just feel for him. And in this movie, you're just like, oh, Jesse, oh man, no, please, Jesse. And you just care so much for him. And he just a fantastic, probably his best, by far his best performance since Breaking Bad. You just feel so much for him because of his emotion on his eyes. He does such a great job. Everybody in the movie does a fantastic job. And the director of this film blew me away. I was like, I didn't know who it was until after the movie, and I realized that it was the guy that directed X-Men Origins Wolverine. Are you kidding me right now? That guy directed this movie? That must have been a hoax, because that movie must have been like overpowered by the studio and everything getting in the way, because this guy is a fantastic director. I cannot wait to see another movie from this guy. He blew me away. All the style, all the action, everything, suspense, the way that he handled all the characters and the setup, and you weren't confused at anything. And see, that was the thing in the beginning. I was a little bit confused. I was like, where is this movie going? Who are we following here? But he sets everything up so perfectly so that when everybody sits down, you know who these people are. Okay, you're following Aaron Paul? Okay, I know who he is. I know who he is. And then he does the best job of following each character, and you feel for each character, and you see every character's point of view, and you're never once confused, and you're just on the edge of your seat. This movie's so fantastic. I so highly recommend it. Please, please check it out. Don't let this movie pass by this year. Check it out. This is a movie that I really hope gets some Oscar buzz and consideration, because it came out so early, but I can guarantee this is going to be one of my favorite movies of the year. It definitely is right now. I think it's a perfect movie, a 5 out of 5 for Eye in the Sky. I so highly recommend it. Please check it out. I know most people haven't even heard of it. Please check it out. It is so worth the money. It is a different spin on everything, and it's an important issue too. It's like it's dealing with politics in a real way. It's not like picking a side. It shows every side, and it's fantastic. I don't want to say too much about the movie. I just, please check it out. I highly, highly recommend it. My favorite movie of the year so far, besides Deadpool. But yeah, I love this movie. Please check it out. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this and you want to see more reviews from a guy like me, you can subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.